Let me tell you about a really chilling story from Japan. It all starts with a simple gift, something a brother gave his little sister, but it spirals into a paranormal mystery that people are still talking about more than a century later. We're going to dive into the unsettling legend of the Okiku doll. You know, this whole thing really boils down to one haunting question. Can a child's love be so powerful that it actually sticks to an object, even long after they're gone? That single question is what sets the stage for one of Japan's most famous and disturbing legends. All right, so let's go all the way back to 1918. The story is about a 17-year-old boy named Eikichi Suzuki and his little sister Kikuko, who he absolutely adored. Now, Eikichi's family didn't have much money, but he was determined to get his sister a birthday present she would never, ever forget. So after saving up for a whole month, Eikichi finds the perfect doll. Picture this. It's wearing a traditional red kimono. It has these deep, dark eyes that look like they see right through you. And it has this classic jet black bob haircut, right to the neck. For her 4th birthday, Kikuko was just thrilled. She named the doll Okiku. And from that moment on, they were inseparable. But so sadly, that happiness just wasn't meant to last. Just a year later, little Kikuko got incredibly sick with malaria. And as she took her very last breath, she was clutching that beloved Okiku doll. The doll that was once this beautiful symbol of a brother's love was now the last thing she ever held. The family, completely heartbroken, wanted to cremate the doll along with Kikuko. It's a pretty common tradition for something so cherished. But the local temple had rules against it. They just wouldn't allow it. So to honor their daughter's memory, they put the doll on a shelf in the main hall of their home. They had no idea they were basically inviting something terrifying to stay with them.
And almost right away, strange things started to happen. At night, the family would hear these faint sounds, almost like Kikuko's giggling. Eikichi would come into a room and find his sister's old drawings scattered all over the floor, with the doll lying right in the middle of them, even though all the windows were shut tight. These were the first little signs that something was seriously wrong.
But it was Eikichi who noticed something truly bizarre. As he was putting the doll back on its shelf one day, he took a closer look at its hair. It was supposed to be a neat neck-length bob, right? Well, now it was growing past the doll's shoulders. And it wasn't just longer. The color had changed to this brownish tint, and it even had split ends, just like real human hair. Aikichi's mother, probably trying to convince herself it was all in their heads, decided to just trim the doll's hair back to how it was supposed to be. And this was maybe the biggest mistake they could have made. That simple act seems to have seriously angered whatever was attached to that doll. The haunting was about to go from just strange to an absolute nightmare. So for the next 2 decades, this family lived in constant fear. And it all kicked off that very same night. The mother had this awful dream about Kikuko, crying and angry that someone had cut her doll's hair. She woke up screaming, and the Okiku doll wasn't on the shelf anymore. It was sitting right on her chest. After that, life just became a living hell. Family members would swear they saw the doll's head turn all by itself. They saw it blink. They'd catch a glimpse of a shadow, shaped just like a little girl, darting through the house. The father got so desperate he buried the doll in a field. But that night, he was woken up by this frantic pounding on the front door. He opened it, and the Okuki doll was just standing there. The pounding got so bad, the whole house started to shake. But the thing that finally broke them, the final terrifying event, happened one evening. The father was just watching the doll, and right there before his very eyes, he saw its long, dark hair start to get visibly longer. But that wasn't all. Strands of hair literally snaked off the doll and started wrapping themselves around his throat. The hair pulled tighter and tighter, choking him. The family was in a panic, trying to pull the strands off, but nothing worked. He was about to pass out when Eikichi, in just a moment of pure desperation, screamed his sister's name, "Kikuko!" And just like that, the hair let go. The doll went limp. 20 years. Can you even imagine? The Suzuki family lived with this for 20 long years. Every single thing they tried to do to get rid of the doll just failed. Finally, they couldn't take it anymore. they decided they had to leave the house, and they gave the Okiku doll to the monks at the Mannenji Temple, telling them the entire unbelievable story.
But you see, the story doesn't end there, not by a long shot. The doll has now been at the Mannenji Temple for almost 100 years, and its weird properties continue to baffle everyone, from the monks to the visitors. The haunting didn't stop with the Suzuki family.
To this day, the doll's hair keeps on growing. The monks at the temple have to perform regular rituals just to trim it. You can actually go see the doll, but taking photos is absolutely forbidden, and they say that people who stare at it for too long are plagued by terrible nightmares. But the story has one more twist, a recent and completely horrifying one. Apparently, a scientific examination revealed something even more disturbing. Inside the doll's slightly open mouth, small, human-like teeth have started to grow. So what is going on with the Okiku doll? Is it really the vessel for Kikuko's innocent spirit just forever attached to her favorite toy? Or has something much, much darker taken hold of this little object of a child's love? That's a question that, even after 100 years, nobody can answer.